So back to the images. My list is getting longer. So these two. One is right. We need to add the timer command here, and I think I added core timed actions. I'm right clicking there because I will be using this one. Here I have voice command, and timed actions. I imagine that's the most common ones. And we going to use the random time between 1 and 4 minutes. And what will happen then? We want an image to be loaded into our new videos and images scene. And that's what we should find out how to do. So let's do that. This is an OBS thing, and currently this scene is always visible. We don't need to do anything with that. We want to actually add a source. And I don't think it's in here. So let's Google it. So, Streamer.bot. Yeah, why not try the docs first? So, if I type add, what can we add? Add to global cooldown, add to cooldowns. That's everything we can add. Add moderator. I want to add a source. Is that possible? So let's do a source instead. Not even a C# one in here. But these probably have that anyway. Set source file. Set media source. These two are interesting. So set image source file. And set media source file. Slow. Here you can get information about the parameters and an actual code example, which is just one line. You don't have to type CPH by yourself, at least. So the scene is required, source is required, and file is required. So you can easily here use our file and put it into the source. But I want to see if we can actually add a source to OBS. I know that somewhere among these tabs. What was this? Yeah, this is the WebSocket. So let's see here. Table of contents, where the stuff above the let's maximize this window. It's kinda outside here. There. So this is good to see. So if we search ad here, we'll probably get 1,000,000 hits. But let's here we have enumeration of table announce. Okay. And they are listed out afterwards. And then events. Here we have scene created, scene removed. But these are events, so we can use these hopefully. I'm thinking playback ended could be useful. Know it is actually finished playing. Configuration events. These are all the events. And then we have the requests. So this is what I was actually looking for. So I'll open that in a new tab. I can save that later. So we can get versions, configuration requests, get scene collection list, create scene collection, create profile. These create I'm interested in. Source request, get source active, get source screenshot, save source screenshot, get scene list, get group list. Create scene. What about create source? We can create a scene. We must be able to add sources to it. I'm just quick reading. Scene item. Get scene item list. Create scene item. Remove scene item. Set scene item. Transform. That's interesting. Media input requests. UI requests. Okay. What else do we have down here? After all the requests. Oh my. End up holding down both mouse buttons. Yeah, we're at the end of the requests, so nothing after the requests. So let's go up to the top again, because I assume you can hop to these. General information, connecting steps. Request response. Okay, so these are just for the start bit. Okay, let's hop to the ones that were interesting. Create scene. That is not what we want, but that it exists makes me hopeful. Create scene item. We could even create the scene then. But we need to use these syntax of the requests to do this. After we've done with the item, we can't just add images, a million of them, and not remove them. And set scene item transform. I imagine that when we make it, we say where it is located. Name, scene item. Enable state to apply to the scene item or creation. So, item ID, item transform. So item transform information, we need to know the format of these. Can I click this again? Yeah, I thought so. We'll just end up at the same place. So yeah, we have the enums too. Maybe I should look at those more first. So how these, that's how these are the enums. This is not much information. Request batch execution type. Okay, so they have just a lot of text for a little information. It's just the value that changes. Sweep frames required. Yeah, of course. Different. This is just at 100. Success means 100. This list is probably the best too. Oh. So I did open in a new window, right? Requests. No, I didn't. Okay. There. So back to the top. Since my throat is starting to get worn out, I will TTS this.
General intro. OBS WebSocket provides a feature-rich RPC communication protocol, giving access to much of OBS's feature set. This document contains everything you should know in order to make a connection and use OBS WebSocket's functionality to the fullest. Design goals. Abstraction of identification, events, requests, and batch requests into dedicated message types. Conformity of request naming using similar terms like get, set, getXList, startX, toggleX. Conformity of OBS data field names like source name, source kind, source type, scene name, scene item name. Error code response system, integer corresponds to type of error, with optional comment. Possible support for multiple message encoding options, JSON and message pack. Pub subsystem, allow clients to specify which events they do or don't want to receive from OBS. RPC versioning, client and server negotiate the latest version of the OBS WebSocket protocol to communicate with.
I'm thinking C# might be alternative, but I know there's a raw. But I think that's OBS. Yeah, OBS raw. This is where you can easily put in a request. So we can try this. That was not really useful, was it? I'm sorry if I'm going quiet, my throat is Let's do this.
These steps should be followed precisely. Failure to connect to the server as instructed will likely result in your client being treated in an undefined way. Initial HTTP request made to the OBS WebSocket server. The SEC WebSocket protocol header can be used to tell OBS WebSocket which kind of message encoding to use. By default, OBS WebSocket uses JSON over text. Available subprotocols: OBS WebSocket.json, JSON over text frames. OBS WebSocket.MISPAC, message pack over binary frames.
I don't think we need to do any authentication or stuff, you know. I'm starting to get very tired. So, I'm feeling very slow. But here we have a simple example of the set current scene. And we get a response to Let's check these out now. That. I'm not sure if create scene. There is the Streamer.bot one to get the code for these. I think I was on it yesterday. Raw generator. So if these are here, so if we search for source, I was searching for something that didn't exist here then. And what we need is, I'm thinking create, we could create scene. Let's do creators. Instead, create scene, create scene item. Yeah, look, it has some kind of so this hopping here, the scene name, the name of the scene to create the new item N. Let's start with creating a scene in videos and images. So, because that seemed like the easiest thing. So videos and images, and we want it to be called created. No. See, it removes everything I type. Burn scene item enabled. True. Okay, this is supposed to be possible to write, right? And we can send this here. Well, let's send it and see what OBS does. Yeah, do you know why it's missing the source name? Because it's not possible to type in here. well, that it's not possible to use this then. There. So this will instead use, but I want the reply. How do I get the reply if I use this? Yeah, I can click different things here. So here we shouldn't have null. We should have hello there. I was trying to type. So if this works and this is run, oh, this is a random time. We don't want this to happen randomly. So let's cut. And we know that it's raw we need. Let's disable this. And we can still test it. Test trigger. So we don't run this a million times and our OBS crashes. So, do I have a raw in here? No. Let's OBS raw. Let's favorite it. I've got a feeling this will be used some. So, create scene item. There. This is interesting. Let's see what happens. So, and it's enabled. Okay, we can test it. No source was found by the name of hello there. Thank you. That's very useful. So, scene name and source name must both exist for us to be able to create a scene item. Why and how? Oh yeah, I thought I was doing the create scene, but I had clicked here. Creates a new scene item using a source. So it uses a source. So the source name must exist. So what I want to do is create a source. Not a source filter. This was what I was actually thinking of doing. So let's. I thought this would be easier, so start with this one. But if I would just create a scene that already exists, it would already exist. Name for the new scene, and it has a scroll bar. No, this is just confusing. It needs to both have the parent, right? And what it's the new one's called? Let's look at the information here. So create scene. It just has the new scene name. And yeah, they're just one level. So no contents or anything. So why would this suggest it is an already existing one? If I run this, I assume I would get an error that it already exists, or I would create one with the same name. Yeah, already exists. This is stupid. Okay, I can't change it here, or can I change it here? No, I can't change the text. So this tool isn't working, but we can send this. This should work if we make a new name. Our new scene. And since they're all on the same level, all scenes, it should work. They doesn't need to know where its parent is. So, I haven't run it yet. let's run it by the test. And it says success and right screen. Here we have our new scene and it's empty. So we can just delete this again. Hello there. Oh, I was messing about with vertical for 3 seconds. There. Apparently not working. I think I installed the vertical plugin and then I uninstalled it, so I should probably just delete that. C2. Let's delete this when we're still here. Remove. It got mangled anyway. It got mangled when I removed the plugin. Well, this worked just fine, and we know we can send without any authentication as I expected. But this is not what we want to do. We want to create actual stuff inside sources. Can't you create sources by just telling it? These are all the create ones. Create scene collection. Creates a new scene collection, switching to it in the process. Note this will what? This will create a new profile, switching to it in the process. Well, the profiles are just what scenes you have and stuff. And it creates a new scene. We did this, it works. Create input. Ah. Here, this is probably what is a source. An input. So a source and the input in the same thing. So let's try this. Let's use our videos and images. And we can set what type of input. Oh, and it's specific. Yeah, here we can do image source. Why we have 3 image sources? That's interesting. Monitor capture. Well, we want 2 kinds. We want a video and we want an image. So this is great. So let's do the image first, because images seem simpler. And this is the input settings. And now when I know the name, I guess this is what to use. We can Google it. If you don't know the name, you can't Google it. Why not call it create source? That would have been so much simpler. So let's take a step back first and see if create input is here in the settings. I read all these, of course. set image source file. So if we have a source, an input, we can set its file. And we can also set, yeah, but it needs to be created. But I used a variable for this in another location, so you could probably something there. But I just feel this is ugly. It's ugly. Should do that in code instead. But if I don't know the code, I'll have to find out how. OBS, sources, and I'm on the other screen. OBS, sources, set media source. And there's also a state. That's interesting. So, and we have OBS. There on the other page again. And I didn't see it either, because it went to the edge of the page. Source mute state, we have all of these here. Filter state, media state. I expect this to be play, yeah, pause. So if we couldn't play it, we couldn't use it. I don't expect the media to be auto-played. If it is, that's depending on whether you want it to or not, good or bad. So, oh my god, I'm 3:25. 3:25. And it's already 48 minutes since I started the recording again. It's just crazy. Time just flies by. It's totally crazy. So let's continue. I think this is fun. That's probably why time flies. So let's see here. We have the OBS raw generator and create input. In this location, this, we call it the input, which I think and assume is the source test image. We set it an image, and I expect this to be like the file name and other details. Let's go back to the requests and look for create input. For I expect it must be here, right? So and I spelled input with an M. That's not right. We also have the remove version there, and here we have default settings used is if there's nothing there. And it returns the ID of the scene. And I expect the ID would be the name of it, maybe. Or maybe something more computerified. How would I get to know more about this? I assume the question mark means these are not required. Since it also said that they are default values. Enabled, we want it enabled true. Well, let's run this from here and see if it works. And I have my OBS ready here. We'll see if something pops up. We got a response, scene item ID 1. That is not anything very interesting, possibly. But let's studio mode here and go to right screen. Here, let's see, look, our test image was created and it doesn't have any values. So that's great. We created a source. That was the goal. And it's an image. Look at the little image here. And we have the property here. We could just browse and add an image to this. That's great. So let's just copy this stuff. And now I'm curious if we get an error message if we run the same thing. So we want this to be replaced because we don't want to create a scene. We want to create source. Why not call it create source when everybody says source? These are sources. These are sources. I'm sorry I didn't switch monitors. These are called sources in these scenes. So when you create one of these, why call it create input? Why? Left screen. There. So what I did, I just clicked in here. I replaced this with the pasted cut bit, and if I run this now, I expect an error message that I have the same thing already created. So test already exists, yeah. And if we instead call it image source 2 or whatever, that's not the same. I expect us to be source already exists by that input name. What? I have to press the format key. Yeah, it didn't change anything. So, oh, I changed the type, not the name. Of course, you should check what you actually do. So this should work. Now it should run. And we get the ID too. So we get the ID of the scene item. That's the source in the list. And what actually happened now, if I hop back to right screen, and if I had not read, I wouldn't have to say it twice. And let's go to videos here. Now we have 2 test images. And this is interesting. The second one hopped on top. So when we add stuff, I guess that's the same here. If we add image, this I just have to look at the list. Here we have our new ones. So if we add this and don't change anything at all, then we have the same thing. So that's what we did. There! This is working great. I've achieved what I wanted. Just the details. So if we load an image into one of these, let's remove this to start with. So we don't have a million of them here. There. So now we I would like to do this in code instead, because I want to remove it. I want to have the name of the image, and I want to add it, save the name, and remove it, and have more control than I feel I can, like this. So running this same thing with code would be the next step. And that shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard.
Kitty says.
Noiki one hi.
Translated from Estonian.
Left screen. Hi, Nori. And I'm forgot to switch screens again, so no one can see what I'm doing. So, how are you? Is everything good?
I am well, thank you. How are you? See you playing with SB.
Yeah. Yesterday I switched from Sammy to SB, as you said, Streamer.bot. So, yeah, it's. I was just about to. I realized how you add sources into OBS. That it's called. I was looking and I didn't find anything, and then it's called create item, not source. So that's why it was hard to find. So logic or not? There it is at least, so yeah. Have you done any of this? CPH. That's what I was looking for. You do lots of complex stuff, I expect, with your stream. It's very advanced. Yeah, there was the raw thing in there. I wish I could just search in these. But it's probably easy to find anyway. There, send raw. I was looking for raw, not send raw. So, request type, data, and connection.
But why are you using C to add things? Lol.
Because then I can add something, do stuff, and remove it without having to mess around with Streamer.bot's way of using variables. So that's what I was thinking. For me, programming is easier. Doing it the easiest way, you know? So this is the request type. And I expect that it wants this. Data. Let's try its formatting. So this is input CNAME. Oh. No, this is wrong. Can I do this? Let's see. This is C though, so maybe not.
So what are you wanting it to do? Just switch a scene and add, take away things. Amused.
What I want it to do right now is to add an image here.
Bezilia says, this is C#.
Yeah. Hi, Bezilia, welcome. Nice to see you. The thing is that I jump between languages a lot, and I copied this now from here. And it wants a string with all of this in it, and I have a lot of these. So since I don't know exactly how these requests, it wants the format, I'm just trying to paste it as easily as possible. But I think that C# wouldn't care if something is... Wait a sec here. I see one error. Yeah, was it the formatting thing that messed stuff up? Look. I shouldn't have pressed its formatting button. I messed up. 'Cause this should be the end of the string, and this should be this, and I don't want it there, I want it there, and I want it there, and I want that there, and I want lines in between, and that. Let's see here. I'm not sure on this editor how good it is to actually seeing what the compiler will realize. But this is
Should data be a string or an object/map?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let's look what it wants. Wrong place. Let's look at... Do we have raw somewhere else? Just search for raw. OBS send raw. Tuk tuk tuk. So where did it go?
Kitty says,
I guess I do not understand. Anything can be done just using the predefined actions that are in the program.
Okay, so maybe that would be easier in this case. But I want to get I want to try and learn to do stuff in different ways. That's part of it, not just doing it the simplest way. But if I wanted to do it the very simplest way, I would just probably add a source in OBS and then load different images to it and show and hide it. But I want to, be in full control of it, so I can add 2 images if I want. But now I'm just thinking I'll add an image and I'll add the source, add the image, place it where I want, remove the source. So it's all clean and gone from the OBS thing. So I don't know. Maybe not the best way to do it. So we'll see. Also, if I do it like the raw way of stuff, then you can more easily move it to something else in Streamer.bot too. So, Basilia, did you have any tips on how I could make this work? I will look at these, see if we can find it. Let's just Control F raw here. Here, send raw. Yeah, it was a string. I thought so. So it wants a string with data, and the string should contain, but I can just escape them. I'll just escape them. That's the only simple way. So let's make it a string, and then we'll escape the characters that it doesn't want. So, oops.
Basilia says, it looks like it wants you to send JSON over a WebSocket.
Yeah, that's the OBS WebSocket. So, but the problem now is the characters, that I can't make a string with string ending characters in it. So I think this will be okay if I just escape them. All of them.
Jerry says,
Nested scenes is best way to keep clean also. But if you are wanting to remove complete, I guess can be a good way to save on resources if you do not have the power Noiki one love.
Yeah. Oops. I pressed tab, but I meant space. So let's just make this a bit more readable.
Basilia says, also I don't fully understand what's going on with return true bit. Is that an error or some unique C# syntax?
This return true. Let's see. This is actually, I think it messed up a bit there, but the return true is for. I shouldn't have pressed the format button, but that's default when you call. No, that's not for the class. Sorry, I'll just undo this. This is a problem, that this one should be here. No. Yeah. No. Yeah, it should be there. So this shouldn't exist. That's of course it should have it there. Copy and paste, and using this line is from the beginning. When you open this, you have these lines and you have these. So it always returns true to what's running it.
Semicolon for data?
Semicolon. Let's see, for data. Data, that's a string, which is this one. What do you mean with semicolon for data? I just thought adding this in the call here would be messy. But let's see. If we do it here, and this is called request type. Let's do it a bit more clean, and I can do request type.
I mean, line 12 should have a semicolon at the end, right?
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. I've done too much Python. I miss all the semicolons. String requests, this is more clean. And the semicolon too. There. And I Control S, and this editor, I'm going crazy from this. I just wanted to save. So just let's see here. New line is I probably messed something else up. Here we have the start of the class and the end of the class. The start of the execute, the end of the execute. It has its return. Let's just do this. I'll cut this and I cancel this, and then we open it again. No, that's not the right one. I just was adding it. If you just add C#, it looks like this from the beginning. So let's add our lines over here, there.
You may have to escape the new lines. I'm not too familiar with this language.
Yeah, it's a bit specified. The new lines. Do we have any new lines? Okay. Yeah, it's in the string now. But this is usually how it's sent. The problem is really, why not just send all of it? Split it into request type and data like this. Maybe it doesn't even want these. But when I did compile, unexpected character. Yeah, let's just add it to one line. We don't have to have several lines.
The line breaks in the source file. I mean, it may want you to be adding, at the end of each line in the string.
Yeah. But this should work too, right? I don't think the spaces matter. Let's see if this works. That should work to have a...
Yeah, this works, I suppose.
There.
Another option would be concatenation.
Yeah. Right, to split the string with concatenation. Yeah. So let's... I'm usually having a save button here, but that's probably because it was not the first time. Let's see if I open it. Yeah, then you have a save button here. So, okay, let's run this now and see if we get a new scene. Or a new item in the scene. So I will... let's do this, test trigger. And right screen. And I'm going to this. It did not add anything. So something went wrong. Since it might not expect these, and just clean this up a bit. That's the first line. Maybe I'll do what you said and just concatenate it, cause that would look cleaner, like this. There. So we have scene input, and it's easier to read and easier to change. And the last one. There, that should be exactly the same contents, just more readable. Great idea, thank you. So, let's see. I'm not sure if this is necessary then, or if it's actually a problem. Depends on what you'd expect, and I can't find anything on that. And now I'm stopping myself from pressing Ctrl S again. Let's try and run this test. And there are an action history here.
Does this need an instance of a CPM object, or a CPM a namespace?
Apparently the Streamer.bot used to be called something that comes with these letters, CPH. So it used to be called something CPH. So it's like an old stuff. Well, all the Streamer.bot stuff is called that. So if I do CPH dot, nothing pops up, but if I type OBS, then you get the list of all of the available things here. I'm so sorry, I just have to 2-second, maybe a bit more bathroom break. Right back. There, I'm back. Yeah, this is what you meant, right? CPH. And since all of this uses the what was about it? You know, the web thingy. What's it called? WebSocket.
Ah, yes. Tiny screen.
Yeah, so it uses the WebSocket for everything, I guess. But the things that it hasn't made functions for, you can still use. But I know OBS doesn't have everything as WebSocket either, so...
I guess I was just confused because the methods in the documentation were in static.
Yeah, this whole thing is not very very nice like that, you know. You can't even control S. I control S automatically when I type in an editor, and yeah, if it's something like this, and also this, if I type dot, it doesn't work, but if I type OBS, I get everything, not just the ones called OBS, just everything. And it's a tiny window, so I opened it up a bit so I can see more. So all of these little quirks. It's also, there's no dark mode, you know. So I think it's one person that's doing it, and I guess they did it for themselves first, probably, and just built on it. Here you have generic WebSocket sends and stuff too. So, but this is the easy way, hopefully. I guess that I could Google and hopefully find some example code for this. Since I'm just new at Streamer.bot, I started yesterday, so this is new, and I have no idea to know what format it expects. Since when I did this version, I did not disable this one too, and this failed. I wonder if it stops there and doesn't continue. That might be a reason why it doesn't work, since if I do run this, if I run this again, it should fail, but it worked once. That's quite odd. Alright, sorry, you're on the wrong screen. Or are you? No, you're on the right screen. I just have the studio mode on still. So let's remove that so I know what I'm doing. Yeah, so the first time I ran it, it worked, and when I started this test trigger, it didn't. So that's odd, just odd. Maybe it's because these are not actually they don't have any settings in them. So if I run this now, if I disable this one too, it should create one, since the only thing I know it worked a second ago. So I'm switching scene to the one with the stuff added without. There's nothing there. So this didn't work, but when I test run it, maybe it's that it's disabled. let's add another trigger. Let's do a voice command. Let's see if we can get this. Okay. Test run. This is just updating the time. Test run. Yeah. Yeah, it did add the, let's see, right screen. Right screen. It did add the image here. So it worked. So now we can just switch. Let's delete this one. Left screen. And let's disable this one. And enable this one.
Kitty says.
So many scenes lol amused.
It's not that many scenes. Have you seen other people's? Right screen. It's like 1.5 page. And it's like the camera and the one with the mask around. You know, takes a few of those. So there. Yeah, let's see. We can stay here. And let's see if I run this now. Test run. Test run. Test run. No, I'm starting to get tired of these times. Left screen. Left screen. Let's see what the voice thingy picked up. Test run. Yeah. So when I said yeah, it said here. It's not perfect, this one, but let's just make a normal command of it. I think I might have already, I should test with the video one instead. Let's copy this one. Can I duplicate? Let's add one just then. Add. I already have one called test image. And you can't tab to get to this. You go around all over the place before you get there. So test image. Okay. So we can start this. So let's, because the TTS is, or STT is annoying. Add the trigger command. Test image. Starting to get a lot of it there. So okay, so now we should be able to type in chat test image and right screen. If I click here and I run this, something went wrong, and just to debug that this actually is run, I will enable that one and disable. So now we're going on the OBS raw instead. And I'm doing test image again. And it popped up at once. This is the one. So let's delete it. And let's see, should I'll just swap back. Left screen. Left screen. Sometimes it works better when I speak fast, or sometimes when you speak slowly. So let's now I just disabled this one, but I thought let's look at it again. This is what it runs, and that works. So this is the request type and the request data. What I did now is that I cut out just this bit, and I removed these. So that's probably not right. The thing that it wants is at a string, but I don't know more. Also, we could always... Oh right, this is not correct. It won't compile this. So, of course it won't work. It won't compile. But I was thinking that we could output the reply of this, which is the ID. Did it say the format it must have? So it's a string. So if we...
Bezilia says, you could also use WebLink to serialize a C# as a JSON string. A C# object.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if it... maybe that's how I should do it though. Because it is using system, right? I'll just finish this. So just to see what it says. Let's cph dot, I think, chat. Let's do my little workaround again. I guess I'll know these soon, hopefully. What was it to send to chat? It was not Twitch in the beginning of it. Did I miss it? The log file is no fun looking at. It's too much stuff in there. It's synchronizing constantly with OBS. I'm just looking for send to chat or something. Send, maybe. Let's go to S. Send message. There. So let's just... I think bot isn't necessary. And the semicolon. And let's compile and save, and okay. That's funny too. Compile doesn't close it, save doesn't close it, but save and compile closes it. So, and this is now disabled, so let's enable it. And if I type the command, it can't mishear me. So test image, we should get a result back here. Oh, it's an advanced stuff thing that it can't send to chat. There's a line break in there. Okay, we get an actual JSON thingy. Maybe we should can we use a serialized thing there maybe for the reply too? Okay,
Streamer.bot says result.
Yeah, the TDS is a bit slow, I think. Or maybe it's just me talking too much. Talking over it. Can remove this. So, let's see if we can use, because this, so system text, I'll copy from here, from your chat.
Bezelia says, yeah, you'd want using web link at the top.
Yeah. I'm just, since it's
string
not...
JSON equals web link, your object.
Yeah, since it's not the normal... Yeah, serialize your object, but I don't have a JSON object. You mean for my output? Right, yeah. I'm trying to do too many things at a time. I was saying that since it's using system, I expect you can do as much as using system stuff at least. But I don't know how much it is, normal C#. I don't expect you can do anything in here. God, I'm trying to read tiny text. But it wasn't so hard thing to type. So let's do the result here. So, oh gosh, sometimes it's too smart and adds an end parenthesis when you want. Oh no, I'm trying.
I should be following along with the documentation. I'm just assuming obs and raw returns some funny business.
Yeah, I think it returned the error message, so that's great to get. So what do you think about this? So the data is probably sent in some way, but I made some error over here somewhere. Let's see. The namespace JSON doesn't exist in the namespace system text. Yeah. Did I mistype anything? That's what I was worried about. You can't use stuff. Let's Google this. And this doesn't work, so... I'm switching between thinking, learning as much as possible about Streamer.bot and just doing the least amount possible to get things going and kind of build my own thing slower. But maybe I should do... Nori, are you still here? Because maybe I should just use the built-in raw since this works.
Kitty says,
yes, Noiki1 hi.
But I would like to know how this works. But now I know that this... I expect that it's not just a string, this maybe?
Bezelia says, obs and raw actually did return a string, but I suppose line breaks must have broken chat.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the first line break, it just poofed out there. So I'm thinking maybe replace all the new lines in the text with just spaces or something. I'll put it in the log instead. We'll put it in the log. So it's still the same thing, of course. Dot, was it log? Log info. And I know that this works because I tried it before to output more JSON data. So result plus result, and two parentheses there, so the correct number of stuff. Let's remove this and not Control S there. And if I run this now, we have the log file folder over here, and let's put the last one at the bottom, or Y at the top. Let it be at the top, and let's run this. So Nori, maybe you were right that this is just stupid to try and do this. So, and just to make sure, oh, I still have an image there, so I don't know if this was the one doing it another time.
Learning is always worthwhile.
Yeah, the thing is that if I'm learning Streamer.bot details, you know, like you can't use a function that you want to use, then it might be better to send these web requests from your own app instead, where you can do anything you want. So that's the only question. If you can talk to that yourself, the WebSocket. I think I started doing something, but I didn't have the time. But now I'm spending lots of time on this. So the thing is that this actually works now. I'm removing the image source. There, it's empty. I'm running the code, and it pops back up. So it works. So getting the error message, kinda. Well, I guess that all the editing of the here, that I added these back in and added the pluses, like, or putting the lines together, that it works now. So if I send this again now, we should get two things in the log, an error and a correct one. So without removing the image, I'm sending another one, and then we'll look at the log. Look at the log. And this is why it's not fun looking at this. It's so much stuff in here. So and there's errors all the time too. Did I look at the right one? No. I looked at the what? And that was a real old one. Oh my god. Yeah, this is that's when I installed it the first time. This file is a bit too big for Notepad. 70k. Oh gosh, these go big. Yeah. There. I don't know if Notepad can handle this file. How did your stream go? Well, Notepad crashed my entire computer. But I agree fully, learning is always worth it. So
Kitty
that's why I'm...
says.
Haha, need GPU to load up a note document.
So
Bezelia says. Thanks, Microsoft.
here we have it. One of the results, and then we should have another one a bit later with the failure, because it's already got a source with a name. Oh look, it didn't return anything that time. So that's good to know. You know, if the result is more than 2 characters, you managed to do it, right? Oh my god, this log file. I don't want to search in it, it's too long too. Here it is. So, more than 2 characters is a success. But it also has ID 9. That's because I've deleted the previous ones. And when I didn't delete the old one, it gave me just the... What do you call these squiggly parentheses? We call them bird wings in Sweden.
Curly braces.
Yeah, curly braces, right, thanks. I've heard that a million times. Curly braces. Should remember that, thank you. Okay. So, well, you see why I don't want to look at the log file. This is what happened after, while I just was opening the file. The pages just rolling. So this works. So let's just continue. Let's load the image into there. So then I have to look more into how to do that.
This is why the Unix people made grep.
Yeah. I've got my little Ubuntu down here. Should open the file there and grep for it. Maybe I should, actually. Got my C drive. Though it's not just one line. It's harder if you... I don't know how to get, like, the number of lines until the next log entry. So, not worth it right now, but maybe worth learning. Do you know how to grep for several lines? There.
Grep A5 text your file. Where 5 would be the number of lines.
Cool. Well, let's do it then. Learning is good. Right, let's do this. So, I think it's this. And what was the directory of the log files? Did I close it? No, here it is. So we can cheat. So CD, no. It's case sensitive, no. Tab doesn't work there. Why? I know it's very annoying, the sound too. So,
Are you double tabbing tab for bash completion?
no, I'm just tabbing once. Or I tried several times with a V, but it didn't, since it's case sensitive, this tiny v didn't work. But maybe that's because it's like a Windows Linux mix strangeness. So I couldn't find video with tiny or big V.
Yeah, NTFS is case sensitive.
Yeah. Let's see now. But it didn't find it on the big V either, so... So the latest log file is the last one there. So if we... Then I type like grep. Or should I just cut it into grep? Log 20, 23, 11, 5 tab, pipe, grep, A5. Yeah, and you had the file name. Maybe I should do it your way there. Not cat. Let's try this. Result. Oops. Well, it has result. If you want a unique name, you shouldn't use result. Okay, I learned my lesson. So, yeah, I had something more. I had result. Let's try this. Let's go back here and click here and say you had result with a big R. This is what I had. Maybe I can even do this. There.
Grep is case sensitive by default, and you used result.
Yeah. And I can't paste. So let's do... Oh, 2 spaces. There. There, now we got them. So, thank you very much, Pisilia. You taught me something great. Thank you. I'll have to add this to my notes. This is great. Let's see if I can pop my notes up there. And just add anything there. So there. So if I need to look at the log file again, I have a great trick. So just to do it again, instead, if I would do this, oh gosh. No. Oh, the name again. Oh gosh, I'll have to ls this. Log 2023 11.5 tab, and then we get the same thing. Is there any difference between the two ways? I don't think so. Is it?
Doing it without cat is considered better, since you aren't spawning an extra process. But since this isn't a script, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, for just command line stuff, it's okay, but you prefer just using grep. Yeah, I see that. Great. Let's see. I've added both to my notes now. So, that's great. If I need to find anything more here, I know how to do it. There's probably something also in PowerShell on Windows to do the same thing, I guess, but those commands are more steeper learning curve to remember PowerShell commands. Okay, so next thing, let's remove this after a time, and then we can do stuff in between. So if we want to remove this again, I guess we could remove input too.
PowerShell is a shell made by people who don't use shells.
Yeah, I was actually like in news groups and stuff back then when they built it on Microsoft, and they were trying to make it, you know, let's do Unix better, and they had so many plans and so much thoughts, and they were thinking, oh, how do we know it makes this so logical? But it's just, the commands are just too long and it's just a mess. But they really tried to make something even better. So, but then everybody knows the commands, you know, ls, you have to make something very, like get children or something. Oh, it's just, well, but the aliases works too, I guess, so a lot of them. Let's see.
It's basically just .NET with pipes instead of parentheses.
Okay, yeah. I haven't thought about that, but I expect that since they want it to be logical, maybe that is it. Now let's look at yeah, this is when I was searching, trying to find it, and I was looking at all the possible requests, and I finally found it. That is called create input. And now I want to remove it again. So I'm thinking maybe we need to actually analyze the information in this, so we can remove the same one. Yeah. We need the name. Okay, so the name, not the ID. That's good. Then we don't need the reply, the response. So, remove input. Oh, why did I tried double clicking it. And why don't they call it add or create source and remove source? It took me a bit to find it. So I guess that it's probably in here too. Remove input. So we can, I guess this is not lazier, but my phone is blipping, so I'm thinking, what? Yeah, so these are lots of, oh yeah, so it will remove anything, anywhere, from everywhere. So if you have the same source in several places, they'll all be removed. Okay, so you can't make the same one again, because then it would find it and say that you can't add this one, I guess. So let's see now. So being as lazy as possible doing this, I think it's possibly just typing that's the fastest, right? And the request type. No, we want the request type. We just want it like that. Oh, right. That's what I copied. Request type is request type. Time to go to bed. Or stop streaming. This is not necessary. I already have these. So data. It started with a comma. No, that's the comma. Okay. And it's just the data. So why am I doing this? Yes, love? Ska jag komma? Jag kommer snart. It's my kids. There. And so no. Where is this from? It's from the other stuff. Well, that's why I got problems before, I think, because there ended up some looking at your help here. Squiggly brackets? Is that it? Curly brackets. Curly brackets. Got extra curly brackets before. So, and then we need to end this one too. So, it's nice that it marks what's connected. So, just this part needs to be the same, and we should probably have a so the image name oh no, it added an extra one, right? Oh, it doesn't do that for plus. Okay, what did I do now? I didn't add it enough. No, it wasn't an extra. It was right. Got it. So semicolon. So, and this is a string. So the test image is the name of the image, and since we have it like that, we can add it here too. Instead of null, we do need the name. There. So the request and the data, and then we need to run if we want the results. We'll see if we use it later. This is getting annoying. Maybe I should just have all the strings on a line and then not have it like this. 23.
Semicolon line 23.
Thank you. Great, thank you. Great cooperation. So, let's see now. And since I use the names that they use, we don't have to change that. But, no, this is the same. It's just send raw, so the same thing again. And this is where we're going to add stuff later. And this we could actually comment out for now. And I tried to control S again. It's there in the backbone. So request type is updated and data is updated, and it uses the same name. So now the test image 2 is still in the folder. So if we run this now, it should add a new image. Yeah, let's add a delay here, because you want to have time to see it before it's gone again. CPH dot, I think it's wait, semicolon, and let's do 5 seconds there, and let's see. No, I didn't click the save, just to test. Yeah, so if you compile and click OK, I don't get these 2 buttons, but whatever, it works. So let's see now. On my right screen I have OBS, so I can see if the image is added. Yeah, let's right screen there, so you can see too. So if I do test image now, and let's hop to here, we'll see if a new one pops up and then goes away for after 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will it remain or will it disappear? Nothing? It's still there. We still have the test image. So the removal failed. Left screen. So let's see here. Maybe can you see any errors? Logical ones? Okay, so result. What I used before was my name. I don't think my name will be in the log file, right? We can grab it easier. And not Control S, compile. Let's read it too. So remove input. Create input worked, remove input didn't. We have the same format. This line is exactly the same, except for that I added a space since there was space around there. This one has several lines, and it worked with inserting this here. I think I know what the error is. I didn't add these, so that's why. There. Now it's a string there instead. So right screen. So let's again, every time I switch screen it hops automatically. So since this won't work if I don't remove this one now, at least the adding won't work. I guess it will remove it. We can count the time if we do that. So I'll test image again. It added the image, and after a bit, hey, it worked. So it was just that I forgot to make it a string. That's easy to remember, easy to forget when there are so many other characters. Now when it works, I'm just going to check with my kids what they wanted. So